Hello, hello, hello. Oliver here, the spiritual activator, and I wanted to do this video for you. Okay, and this is super important. Super important, especially if you're feeling right now that you're getting slow results, you're not seeing, you're not feeling, and you're like, is it working for me? So what I'm learning working for me, right? So that's what this video is all about. And I'm gonna wait for you guys to pop on here. And if you guys see this, if you can see me and hear me as you're seeing this video, just comment yes and yes below. All right, and that's how I know that we are good technology-wise. All right, so I'm gonna wait for a few seconds here, and then we're gonna get started. Okay, but this video literally comes because a lot of times, like, people are like, I'm trying something, I'm unblocking my energy, I'm trying my shields, I'm cutting my cords, I'm, trying to do all these different things, but I'm not. I feel like I'm not getting results. I'm not seeing things fast enough, or I'm seeing this post about somebody's getting amazing results, and I'm not experiencing the same thing. Are things working for me? Is there something wrong with me, or are things not working for me? Right? a lot of that a lot of that creeps in. So that's why I wanted to create this video, just to walk you through what I've seen after doing this work for close to 15 years now, and I've shared this with tens and thousands of people, um, and seen the pattern of people that I've helped throughout the years. And that's what this video is for. Is if your mind for some reason feels like things aren't happening for you, I want to address that too. Okay, so let's see here. We got some people that are signing on. Awesome. All right. So first things first. All right. You got to remember that when you're working with anything to do with energy, there's always a lag time. Okay. This is one of the first principles. There's always a lag time. So everything happens fast when you're doing it energetically. Speed of energy, everything happens fast. But you know, our minds, our emotions, sometimes our physical reality, our bodies take a while to acclimate. There's what's called a lag time, because when you're doing things on energetic space, things happen quickly, but your body needs time to readjust. It's not as quick as energy. So I see it sometimes to where when you do things to work on yourself on the energetic level, you're unblocking, you're clearing, you're doing all these exercises. For some people, like they might be getting results right away, right? It seems like it. They're feeling it, they're seeing it, they're experiencing, and they're getting results right away. Well, for others, it might take a few days or a few hours or a week as it unfolds, because there's a principle of lag time to where it's giving us things that we can handle based on where we're at energetically, right? So it's one of the things that's super important to do. So what I tell people, and they go through my workshops, they go through the programs, and I'm like, you've got to document stuff. You've got to document synchronicities. You got to document things as frequent as you can on a daily basis, because I see it happen so many times. People are like, they don't know what's going on, or they're trying to see if things are working, and they start documenting. And after a few days, after a week, after 2 weeks, they look back, and they're like, oh my gosh, like they wrote about things or experienced things earlier on, and they saw something or something came to them and they didn't know what it was, and then it was a sign, it was a message, it makes sense. And a lot of the times things are understood when you look back, not forward, but when you look back, right? Because a lot of times when you're getting intuitive messages, and when you're getting you're getting all this feedback, and you're like, what does it even mean? A lot of times it's given to us in the moment, okay, because it's a clue, and as it builds up, when we look at the big picture, we can zoom out, and all of a sudden it makes sense. All of a sudden it makes sense. For example, I was like I was just finished a workshop here where people were the 8 week program where people are certified to become energy healers, right? And I remember I think it was day one or day two. This one of the attendees pulled a card, and the card said, labyrinth, right? And she had no idea why she picked that card. It seemed like a random, seemed like a random thing. Why would you pick a card that said labyrinth, right? Next thing you know, fast forward a day and a half later, something came to me, and I told him, you know what, you need to work on the gifts that we just activated. You need to go to the labyrinth later on today. And she's like, oh my gosh, I just picked out the card that said labyrinth, didn't know what it was, and now you're telling me labyrinth and synchronicity. And it's like, now that makes sense. But in the moment when she picked that card up, Like, she didn't know what it meant, why it was being given to her, how it was even relevant, what the context was. But, she put it in her mental bank and probably documented it. And afterwards, it made sense only after a few days when I was like, you need to go to labyrinth. So a lot of times, things happen during this process that might not even make any sense at all, because there's that lag time. Like, we were given guidance and intuition, and then we might not know what it is till later on, right? And another reason why some people might not experience things right away is because, for example, let's say one of the biggest things that's blocked is your third eye, right? And let's say your third eye is a little bit blocked, and maybe because it can be, third eye can be blocked for so many reasons. It could be something that you've heard, right? It could be, power center and fear, right? It could be something in the heart, to where if you turn on your third eye, you would lose people around you that don't believe in that. It can happen for so many reasons, right? So a lot of times people come into the program, their third eye might be blocked, so they might be now be experiencing things or feeling things as intense as they want, and that's because that's the blockage, right? And you have to understand, like, as you go through the program, as you work through things, as you work to become clearer and to raise above negative environments and negativity, and to clear the blockages, what ends up happening is, it ends up clearing to where once it clears, there's the principle of lag time again. As it clears, for some people it's instant. For some people it's a few hours, a few days, a few weeks. But once it clears, then all of a sudden you can sense things that you didn't before. Maybe your dreams are more vivid. Maybe you can start seeing colors when you're doing exercises. Maybe your intuition is more in tune to where things are coming to you, and you're quicker and in real time, and you can make sense of it, right? So a lot of times people might not experience or see things because of blockages, which is why what this program is about in the first place. Is you're going through this 30-day program, blockages happens, like, and as you release and clear those blockages, then you're gonna start sensing things more, right? So again, a lot of that is time based. Another thing is probably the way you process things, right? Because in this last workshop, we had one gal that was like, I can't see, I can't, like, and all of her classmates, all of her attendees in the 8-week certification could see things as I'm doing things, they're feeling things, and it's like amazing. Like, they see things like a movie, and it's just very, very cool in terms of just like the experiential thing. And you had this one lady that was like, I'm not seeing anything. It's what's wrong. She's the only one that couldn't. And I know this because I work with so many people that I know the pattern, right? And later down the road, in that day, the last day, I revealed to her that her gift is actually hands-on healing, like being able to heal with her hands. That's her natural born gift she has. And the reason why she can't see, and that's not her primary gift, is because her biggest gift is to feel. That's her number one gift right now. And she started leaning into that, and as she started feeling and really accepting that that's her gift, and not comparing like, why can't I, and start working on things that were blocking her, which was her heart. By the end of the workshop, she started to see, which she wouldn't have been able to do at the beginning, because the blockages were different, right? One, the way she processed things. Because some of us, we know things. We know things. Some of us, we feel things. Some of us, we see things. Some of us, it comes through hearing. But we have different modalities. Not everyone is the same. To where it's like, if someone can see vividly, they like can see colors, they can see energy, they can see shapes and things coming at them when they're doing clearings. A lot of people are like, wow, it's amazing. Why don't I have that? And if I don't have that, it means I'm not in tune, which is incorrect. Because each one of us, we're very, very unique. We're made unique. We have different ways of processing information, of tuning in to energy. Some of us just know. We just know. We don't know how, but it just comes through us and we know. Some of us, we just see, and we're more perceptive, and that's how we get the signs. Some of us, it's like, it's like, we as we're feeling things, we make sense of what we feel, and it turns into actual like tangible knowledge, or things that we just go with, right? But each and every single one of us, we have different ways of interpreting and perceiving and giving meaning to the information that we gather energetically. We're all different, right? And once we realize that, then things start changing for the better, because when this gal realized that, you know what, she's a hands-on healer. So as she is working with people hands-on, and when I say hands-on healer, it's someone that you can help somebody, um, with their with typically with your hands they can heal physically and emotionally and mentally whatever's going on for somebody, but you can do that remotely as well, right? But once she realized that she was a feeler first, and started accepting that and realizing that one of the blocks that she has was her heart was closed. So we worked on that, opening that during the workshop in a safe and just really gentle manner. Then she started seeing towards the end. She's like, wow, seeing these colors, I'm seeing these visions and all these different things, right? So a lot of the times, it might not be what you think it is that's blocking you. It may be the lag time. It may be because things are actually blocked. And it may be if your third eye is blocked, it's not even related to your third eye at all. It might be different things in your energetic system that's causing the blockage in why you can't see, why you can't feel. You know what I mean? And documenting is super important. When you document stuff and you really write things down, and as things come to you, even if they don't make sense, as you start documenting it, as you start documenting stuff, writing it down, and you look back at it every week, every 2 weeks, every month, you're gonna start seeing patterns. You're gonna start seeing things that you've never seen before, and you're gonna see that, like, you're extremely guided. That your intuition is there. That things are flowing through, and you can see the improvement. All right. And a lot of times people just wake up one day, like, there's a lot of times there's not one thing that causes something to happen. You keep doing it, doing, and one day out of nowhere, you don't know why, boom, you can start seeing. Boom, you can start feeling. Things start coming together, and you don't know what you did that caused that, because it was literally the accumulation of everything that you've done through time. And that's what I want to encourage you all to do. Is, like, give it a shot. Like, you've gone through this the first 30 days, or you're 2 weeks in. If you're the first weekend you're not feeling something, or second weekend, you know what, keep going. And by the end of the 30 days, something wakes up, something changes. You know what, do the 30-day program over again, right? And really give yourself the chance, knowing that this is a system. What you're learning here is a system. It's a way of life, so that you can start unblocking and clearing and showing up to life, at a higher level, than before, to where you have more clarity. You've got more focus. You just have more positive energy to give, yourself and others that you come across. And eventually, if you hear the calling, then you can step into it in a higher capacity and be able to do this for others, if that's what's called to you, right? Whatever resonates with you. But that's what I wanted to share. I just wanted to pop on today. Felt inspired. I wanted to share with you guys. If you're feeling stuck, you're not seeing anything, you're like, nothing's coming to me, I feel blocked. This should help. This should give you perspective. Time, practice, knowledge of the lag time, knowing that things, pile up on each other in a positive way and accumulates, and one day it just happens, and knowing that's everything happens in its own divine time, for whatever reason. Like a flower that blooms, you can't force it to open up. Like, it's the mixture of the sunlight, the water, the elements it needs for it to blossom. That's the beautiful process. We can't rush it, but with time and with all the elements that it needs, it happens. And I want you to grant yourself that, okay? Because you're worth it, you deserve it, and I know how divine timing works. You're here for a reason. You weren't led here just to be here. You're led here because you're going through a transition in your life. Whether whether it's transition in your health, your finances, your relationships, finding clarity, or you just want to better yourself, or you are trying to find purpose, or you're like, what, I just feel called to this. Whatever led you here, you're here for a reason. And that, I've seen it over and over again, years and years, for years and years, for thousands and thousands of people. It doesn't lead them wrong. There's always a higher purpose. So trust that. Okay? So that's about it. And if you guys enjoyed this video, just go ahead and do a hashtag breakthrough, a hashtag aha moment, and let me know your favorite part. And I like knowing this stuff, because whenever I hear what's relevant for people and what's helpful, I create more of that content. And I want you guys to have an amazing experience while you're here, because again, this is soul family. This is community. This is where we all come to grow, to share support, to share love, and really to feel, to be understood, to feel heard, and just to know that you're not alone in this. That there are people from over 55 plus countries here in this group. They're in the same journey as you, like, wanting to master their energy, wanting to live life on a higher level, wanting to give back and help, heal themselves and the world as well, and people around them, right? So let's, we're stronger together as light workers. So I'm excited that you're here. Whether you're in day one, week three, you're doing it again, just know that you're here for a reason, right? And I'm doing my best to serve you at the deepest and highest levels that I can, because it's something that I wish was available to me when I first started out, and it wasn't, and I had to piece everything together throughout the years, and it's been a long but worth it process, and hopefully I can speed it up for you. Hopefully what took me, like, 15 plus years to learn, you guys can learn in the next 30 days, the next few weeks, and it can just click for you, and I can help alleviate unnecessary suffering and stress and confusion and just darkness in your life. And if I can do that, if you serve even one soul, it's worth it, right? So thank you for watching this. Let me know your biggest breakthroughs from this video, because I want to jump in more and do more content for you guys, and make sure I'm supporting you guys at the highest levels. I love you all. I'll see you in the next video. And remember, when you heal yourself, you heal others, and you heal the world. And sometimes, most of the time, that's not sequentially. That happens simultaneously. Love you all. See you in the next video. And thanks for watching.